we had like 64k donations, as in like 64,000 single donations, if that makes sense. And I think during the actual 2 weeks, that's like even more, obvious, because everyone's kind of cheering each other on and sharing each other's streams and stuff. And then you'll see people go into each other's chats and stuff. And it's just so nice to like have this community of people. And I feel like so proud to kind of be part of it. And everyone's always so lovely if I ever jump in as well, which is always really nice.
What's your favourite jam? Jelly, music, or party? Alright lads, welcome back to InsideMC, the podcast where I sit down with amazing guests every single week. And this week I am joined with a returning guest, someone who actually made a feature on Midweek MC last December. They were our Christmas special, and now instead of being at the end of December, because actually I haven't announced this yet, and I don't think I would have announced it by the time this podcast comes out, but I'm going to let you know anyways. The podcast is possibly, most likely, certainly taking a break at the end of December. So instead, this person is coming on at the start of December. Really long intro, making a move from Midweek MC to Inside MC. Sadly no AJX, however something that was promised and actually arranged on the last podcast. I am joined with the amazing Ruth.
Hello. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you.
I'm so drained out though, so apologies.
Yeah, that was good. Hi.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very excited to talk about Jingle Jam again this year. Thank you for having me on. I didn't forget we agreed it, and I was waiting for your message, and you were very organised when you reached out, so thank you.
When did
it was like months ago. I was like, wow, he actually does want me to come back. That's great.
Of course. I invited you back on, oh my god, I invited you on the 26th of the 9th, 2 months ago.
I put it in my calendar and everything. I was like, this is happening, so yeah, thank you.
Oh my god. I normally scheduled him like maybe like a month or so ahead. I've never done 2 months. That is the earliest I've ever scheduled. I think it's because Jingle Jam announced something maybe, or just for something that came to mind, so I was just like, ooh, let's get this booked in.
Yeah, September is like when we start going, okay, we need to start thinking about Jingle Jam. Like, in fact, I think this year we actually started thinking about the end of August. There's sort of every year we're trying to get more and more prepared. So yeah, there was probably some announcements around then.
I mean, it's never too early for Christmas, right?
No.
And it's never too early for Jingle Jam.
No, definitely not. We do start talking about it early on, but yeah, I think as soon as Halloween's over, that's it. It's 100% Jingle Jam in my life anyway.
I put my Jingle Jam decorations up in July, so.
What? Okay.
I have a massive post on the wall that just says Jingle Jam recording reminder.
Very nice. Oh, like on a whiteboard. Okay, nice.
No, it's like a massive. I've wrote it onto the wall like with permanent marker. I can't get off. It's just above my PC.
Dedication. Thank you.
But I mean, we promised, right? We literally scheduled it on last year's podcast, and on all honesty, when we did do it, I kind of still imagined midweek being around. However, midweek recently stopped just because it was getting too much, and also because of like stuff with. I mean, I love the podcast pieces, but at the same time, I have been struggling a little bit. Sorry, this is going to be like a really off-topic rant. I'm just going to say
it's okay
because I want to. If that, I mean, and you said it. It's okay. It's okay. So that's good. It's like I suffered a lot of burnout while I was doing Inside MC and Midweek MC, but the thing is, because I was so dedicated to keep it going, the burnout was like it didn't affect me. Plus, I also really wanted to prove a point that I was able to upload 2 podcasts a week for an entire year, minus 1 month because I was on holiday. Minus 1 week, sorry, because I was on holiday. So there's that. But now that I have all the time in the world, the burnout is really hitting me.
It's a lot.
I start looking at other avenues. So
it's a lot of time, definitely. And I think not saying obviously that this was the case, but one thing that can happen is then you have like quantity over quality. So it's sometimes better to strip it back a bit more and kind of refocus. So yeah,
I agree. I know you're saying it was not the case. The thing is, I think with podcasts it's a little bit harder to have like that, like, because I mean, I think the quality is kind of just me talking. I feel like I'm a pretty good yapper. I not to big myself up, but
no, you wouldn't be doing this if you weren't.
yeah, exactly. See, so but before we carry on now, enough about me. I just wanted to get that in the intro because I like to give like a little thing of what's on my mind every single time I record a podcast. I always like to give the introduction for you to let us know who you are. So who are you, what do you do, and instead of a fun fact about yourself this time, obviously if you want to you can, I'm also giving you the option to just say a fun fact in general.
Oh,
so you have either a fun fact about yourself or just a fun fact that you know.
Oh god. Okay. I the fun fact question
You've
is
had a year to
famously.
prepare.
I didn't know about the fun fact question. I
asked you
famously
last year.
hate the fun fact question.
I know, you said this last year.
I know, I still hate it. I'll try and think of something. Before I get to that though, so to introduce myself, my name is Ruth. So I am one of the community leaders for Jingle Jam. So I help with mainly the Discord. So I was part of setting it up, I want to say 3 years ago. Feels like it was like closer, but it was 3 years ago. With someone called Wilco, who is kind of my partner in this. And we sort of help with the day-to-day of like announcements, any questions people might have. As I said, like with the channels and stuff, making sure that's got all the right information for people. So the Discord is kind of mainly for people who want to fundraise for Jingle Jam. So we do also have like an area where you can chat to the charities as well, which is really, really good. And I feel like every year it's kind of getting stronger and stronger, that kind of way of chatting with the charities, which is something that I feel like you can't often do when you're fundraising, actually kind of interacting with them and getting like encouragement. And they can also kind of help support you as well. Like there's people kind of getting tweets ready that they're going to post out on their like, the specific charities channels and stuff. So yeah, it's just a really amazing place to kind of get everyone together. So I kind of help with all of that stuff. So yeah, we're definitely very busy from like September onwards, basically.
Sadly, I'm not doing any like direct from InsideMC specifically. I guess like so this year I've been doing like fundraising like bi-monthly pretty much. I was did it for Quest for Kindness, which I was quite fortunate enough to be in contact with them. I have an event. I'm recording this actually this Sunday for Papyrus. So like sadly, because of like the lineup of times and stuff, I haven't been able to do anything directly InsideMC related to Jingle Jam. However,
apart from this,
apart from this, but there's also another thing actually that I was meant to mention before the podcast, but I thought I might as well just leave it as a surprise. I feel like you might know the name, just because I obviously actually no. Before I say this, right? I know that you liked. Actually, did you say the fun fact? I just realised.
No, I didn't actually.
Go on, you nearly got out of it. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. I actually don't think I have a fun fact.
If you don't have one, there's no pressure.
I know, but you've already asked me for it, so I've got to think of something.
I mean, I can give you my fun fact if you want.
Yeah, you go first. That might help me kind of think
so I've said
what
this,
the fun fact is.
Every single time I say a fun fact on the podcast, it's this exact one. So did you know that when castles were built, like back in the day, the reasons that the stairs go up and to the right is because it's a lot easier to defend going downwards with your arm in your left, like with your shield in your left arm and then your sword in your right, as opposed to going up the stairs where you have to like kind of hold your shield at a weird angle. Also, they made it like that small and purposely that rigged because it made it harder for attackers, and they could only go up in single fire, making it a lot easier to defend.
Oh, okay. I feel like I knew the first part. It's a very like specific reason I know that. It's just because I went somewhere and literally someone mentioned it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like like those weird windy stairs you get, and I was like, oh, that's really weird. So I did know that actually.
Well, there you go.
But it is interesting. I'm trying to think. I
mean, even if you just give us like a fun Jingle Jam fact.
Okay. Let me think. Jingle Jam fact. Well, I guess, does it make sense for me to kind of explain a bit about like the history of Jingle Jam? I guess there's kind of some fun facts in there. It's up to you, or would you rather that be like a separate thing? Yeah,
that's actually perfectly then. Let's talk about the history of Jingle Jam.
Yeah. So I suppose the way it began a very, very long time ago in 2011. And the creators of the Yogscast, so Simon and Lewis, they were absolutely popping off on YouTube. There was lots and lots of people watching them, and I think they moved in like offices, like physical offices, and had like a shipping address. And they were just getting lots and lots of things sent to them, like at Christmas time. I don't know if you remember people doing that, where they'd like do unboxings and stuff. It was a long time ago, but back in the day, that was something that lots of people did. And I think basically what happened is it got to the point where they were like, very luckily, we're sort of like, we actually can't, please stop sending us stuff. Like, we can't have this much stuff anymore. It feels so wasteful, because obviously it was only a few people. It seemed a shame to kind of waste all of that generosity. So instead of doing presents, they asked people to donate to Oxfam's Give a Goat appeal, and they raised like over $100,000, I believe. And that was kind of how it started. So it literally just started from just people being so generous, and they were like, how can we use this to actually make a difference, which is pretty cool. And then from there, obviously, it's kind of changed into a different thing. So I think they did a few other things in the kind of years in between, but definitely over the past few years since then, it's changed into being officially Jingle Jam. And it's now kind of separate from the Yogscast, although they do fundraise for it, and it is obviously still being like shared on their channel, and they're the main fundraiser on it. It's now become a thing. So 3 years ago, they decided to open it up to everyone to fundraise, because actually, obviously there's all this amazing entertainment, but there's so many people who stream on Twitch now, and a lot of them were already super into Jingle Jam and knew what it was, and they said, no, you guys can help us too. And it's just come from there, really. So now it's just like everyone can do it, which I think is amazing.
I mean, yeah, this year there's again, so to just to specify for the listeners here, this podcast has been recorded on the 19th of November. It'll come out hopefully on the 1st or around. It'll be either the 1st at 5 p.m. or sometime after it, so it won't be coming out on a normal Friday. But just so you know, like the time period from recording this before it comes out. But right now you've actually started announcing like collaborations. So there's Tubbo was the one for today.
Yeah.
There was Jack Manifold. Yep, Jack Manifold yesterday. You also retweeted Wadebox Jingle Jam event, which like they're doing like a little event and stuff like that. And you've just been constantly kind of promoting what people have been doing, like Harry's tweet. Obviously, it's different. Good. You do know about the Wraithstation thing. That's what I was going to bring up. So we'll get into talking about that a little bit later on. Because I want to talk about that specifically. You'll see why. But yeah, so like slowly you've been announcing people who are taking part, and it's good. I mean, it's perfect for. I mean, it's the perfect way to fundraise, right? If you get people involved and then they kind of specifically reach into their own communities. Whereas if they're just fundraising for it, I don't know. I've always found it quite like an interesting one where I feel like people are more. Maybe I'm completely wrong, right? And maybe I'm just. This is just my own personal feelings. I don't have stats or facts to back this, but I feel like people are more likely to donate to a charity like fundraising stream if the streamer they're watching is officially unquote partnered with it, as opposed to just doing it. For instance, with Jingle Jam, I feel like people are more likely to fundraise or donate to their streamer if they're officially doing a stream for Jingle Jam, as opposed to doing a stream just for Jingle Jam. Does that make sense?
I think so.
You mean
like it's more? You mean like it's more official, like
when they go, oh yeah, I'm doing this 24-hour stream for Jingle Jam, right? But because they're actually working with Jingle Jam, as opposed to just doing it for Jingle Jam. There we go. Just
sort of picking it.
Picking it as a fundraiser,
randomly, which is fine. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's more of a thing, and also because there's two things. So because other people are doing it, I'm sure there's a lot of these communities cross over. It suddenly gets very kind of amplified among people who might never have heard of it, which I think is what you were getting at. Like there's all these communities who have never even heard of the Yogscast, which is great that they've then heard about Jingle Jam without them. And like you said, I think there's like Jack Manifold and people like that. Like I don't watch them, so it just shows like how different communities can be, but we can all end up fundraising for the same charity, and obviously the 8 charities that are kind of within that. So yeah, it's really expanded.
And the thing is as well, like the main reason I know about Jingle Jam is because of, I can't actually remember how we even met, to be honest, but like I know about Jingle Jam because of Minecraft. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Oh yeah, there was the Minecraft thing. Yes, I can't actually remember what it was now.
Hold on, let me see. Let's see our first DM. Our first message was on the 25th of the 11th, 2023. So I think that's when I actually first heard about Jingle Jam because of MCC Island.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the collab that they did the little bundle on MCC Island. So there you go. See, so I found out about it because of Minecraft, but Jingle Jam is way bigger than Minecraft, isn't it? Really?
Well, yeah, bigger in that it's its own whole thing. But it's amazing that that's like how it reached you. It just shows that like doing these little collabs with people does reach far and wide.
That's why you've come on the podcast. I'm so famous and clouted, and you're gonna blow up, and Jingle Jam is gonna hit its highest raised amount this year because this podcast is coming out before Jingle Jam instead of after.
Yes.
What about you then? How did you get involved with Jingle Jam specifically?
Yeah, so again, I feel like it's getting further and further away. So I think it sounds like it was 2022 then. Can't actually remember. Yeah, it was. If we spoke last year, gosh, that was a while ago. But yeah, 2022.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, a whole years ago. I was basically approached by it was Harry who works for the Yogscast, Sarah who works for the Yogscast, and Dav who works for the Yogscast. So I was actually a mod in Dav's Discord and Twitch, and I think everyone had to like submit someone that they thought maybe was qualified, I suppose, which I didn't feel like I was, but you know, someone who they thought was trustworthy and could maybe help. And they just basically asked me, and they asked Wilco. So Wilco still is Harry's mod as well. And they just said, "You want to help out with this?" And I was like, "Yes, I love Jingle Jam. I will help any way I can, basically." So I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So then we kind of got to work building it from the ground up, really, and it's come from there. And I think every year it's kind of, as I said, it's sort of built on the previous year. So we're now kind of helping out with more things, or we're like, you know, like we help if we see any good clips, we'll send them to Sarah, so she does like the social media side of it. We're kind of getting a bit more stuck in with things like that as well, which is really fun. And then we also speak to the charities as well, kind of behind the scenes. And we're sort of like some of these charities, some of them have come a few years in a row, so they sort of know the deal. But some people, I mean, you can imagine people have never even heard of Discord. So then they apply for Jingle Jam, they get accepted, and then they're basically told that they need to join this random social media platform that they've never heard of. And yeah, then they're thrown into a Discord that's got like 5,000 people in. So we're kind of the in-between people for that as well. So yeah, we also get to chat to them. And I mentioned for the podcast recording as well, this year we actually went down to Bristol and met them in person, which was so nice, because there's some people who like the Grand Appeal, for example, and Calm, who we have been there every year we've been there. So we've like spoke to them for like 3 years. So it was so nice to actually meet them in person as well. So yeah.
That's quite cool though, that like now it's kind of expanding into the whole like actual in-person interactions, because it feels like it's more, it makes it more personal that way as well, you know.
Definitely. I think it makes us more real as well. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, it's kind of like we are real people.
No, but it's not. No, because like, so I went to watch I've been to a few football games now, but I just used the most recent one as an example. I went to watch England versus Ireland. When they won 5-0 against Ireland. And, like,
I remember that.
Like when I went to watch like West Ham versus Man City, right? I was like sitting in the crowd and I saw Haaland score a hat-trick live. Like I was watching from West Ham's POV, so that was certainly something. But like with it, like you'd see, and I'm just like, I know that he's actually a real person. Yeah. But actually seeing Haaland there score a hat-trick is like, he is actually real. Like maybe he's still a robot, but like he's still there, you know? So
yeah, no,
these aren't just people who are made up on the internet. They're actual people you can meet in person and chat with.
Which I think in our case, it makes us probably more approachable. And yeah, I feel like I've obviously got to know the charities a bit more as well. So it means, yeah, we can be a bit more chatty and stuff. So yeah.
Is your, this is really off topic.
Yeah.
Is your dog still famous?
You know what? I've actually not posted. I think I've done like 4 posts since last year, which is terrible. But she still gets like regular followers on Instagram. I don't know why. Like people just love her. I mean, I obviously think she's the best dog ever, but like I think a lot of people still enjoy seeing her. I have got some pictures I need to post, but I'm just a bit lazy, to be honest. I think it was one of those things that we got her in like lockdown. It was just something that was super fun to do and kept me a bit sane at the time. But now that's not a thing anymore. I don't really need to take pictures of her all the time. However, my camera roll on my phone, my camera roll is full of photos of her. But yeah, there's no more billboards, sadly.
Heartbreaking. Sorry, it's just a random question I wanted to ask.
That's good.
With the Jingle Jam, or working with Jingle Jam, sorry, and if you mentioned it there and it went over my head,
it's
apologies. Okay. But you are volunteer as well, like you don't get paid at all for this, do you?
Yeah, no. So it is completely volunteer based, and there's no sort of like, you know, they don't have us like we don't have to be here all the time sort of thing. We do have which I failed to mention actually, we do have like we call them mod elves, but we have like moderators within the Discord that we've sort of recruited as well. So it's not just me and Wilco kind of keeping 5,000 people happy. So there's like, there's a big team of people. So yeah, it's all volunteer based, and kind of as you can do stuff, do it. But if you can't, then, you know, there's plenty of other people that can help out. So we're trying to utilize kind of people that are already around or in kind of communities adjacent, so that they're easy to kind of just pop in if they need to. And we've tried to cover all the time zones as well. So yeah, everyone's a volunteer. It's not paid. And I think that's super important because, obviously it's for charity. So it's all out of the goodness of our own hearts and the love for Jingle Jam as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So earlier I was mentioning about how I'm not directly doing anything from InsideMC, and I was going to lead into something, but then I don't want to jump ahead too quickly, so I'll bring it up now. So do you manage the Twitter account, or is that not you?
No, so that is Sarah that does that. So she's like, she does the social media for the Yogscast as well. So yeah, she kind of does that. That's like a whole thing. No, we would do the announcements in like the Discord, but not direct from that. Yeah, that's Sarah. But I think they're getting some extra people in this year because there's just so much.
But you still like read it and keep up with it is more what I mean as well. Though.
Yeah, and we have like we know what she's going to post, if that makes sense. We just don't physically post it ourselves, so it means that we can then prep, because also not everyone uses like, you know, X, or dare I say X, or Instagram. Some people aren't really on social media, so I think it's a really good way. We don't kind of do it word for word, but if there's something that we feel is important that's been posted on there, or that we know is going to be posted, we'll make sure to share it on the Discord, because that is for some people that's the only way that they find out about it. So yeah, we kind of work alongside her. She sort of plans out what will be said, and then obviously we can always add stuff if we feel like we want to.
Well, a tweet that they retweeted was about the Wraithstation Jingle Jam fundraiser that they're doing. Sorry, I struggled to swallow for a second there.
That's okay.
So over the course of Jingle Jam and the next however many things, Wraith and the team are doing like multiple different events to fundraise for Jingle Jam. One thing that InsideMC is actually directly involved with it is this podcast that we're recording right now. So they have like a site. They have the Wraithstation site. I think they have a specific one for Jingle Jam. I'm not sure. I'll link it down below as well, alongside all the other Jingle Jam links and yours, etc. That we mentioned before the podcast. But we are like on their schedule as like podcast uploaded on the 28th. So I actually need to tell them to change it. But like that amongst like different tournaments that hopefully I'm going to get to play in and all this different kind of jazz. So like we are, InsideMC is still kind of impacting on Jingle Jam this year, just not like as directly as I have been, as in hosting my own tournaments. That's still going to be involved in other ways, which is really cool. And I'm not making the same mistake I made last year. I am buying the bundle this year.
Yes, the games collection, you mean?
Yes, the one. Yeah, sorry. It used to be called Games Bundle, didn't it? But now it's Games Collection.
It did. It's Games Collection. No, I think sorry.
No, you please.
I was just going to say, kind of what I've been told about the games collection this year is that it's more, it's less about like how many games and more about getting some really, really, really good games in there. Obviously not that games weren't good, but it's just, I think there's like, there's kind of like a quantity and quality thing, a bit like what I mentioned earlier. And I think they've really like fine-tuned and been a little bit more specific with like the choices this year. So I think the games collection, I dare say it might be the best one yet. We'll have to see. So yeah, definitely if you can get the games collection, I don't think you'll regret it.
Wait, hopefully they have the Cars game.
The Cars game?
Yeah, do you know the movie's Cars?
Yeah, of course I know the movie's Cars.
But the game.
I'm going to say I'm doubtful on that one.
Oh no, so am I, but it'd still be amazing. Like, you don't break my heart too soon.
I'm sorry,
okay?
I can't confirm or deny that the Cars game won't be in it, but I'm doubtful.
Well, if you're looking to pick up the games collection and get a bunch of amazing games for cheaper than you would do buying them individually, and raise some money for charity, then as of this podcast being released, you can actually go and buy it right now, unless you're listening to this after the 15th of December?
The 14th.
The 14th. I see, I wanted to say 14th, but I felt like it was still going on the 14th because it's 2 weeks.
Well, it finishes at like midnight on the 14th, so yeah,
so
you
the
are
15th.
pretty much right
I'm right. So I'm right. If you're listening to something, depends on your time zone. If you're listening to this at 1 a.m. on the 15th of December, GMT 2024, and any time after that, you can no longer get the collection. But any time before then, please pick it up. It's money for charity, and you know, I mean, hear it from Ruth here. I mean, you mentioned it last year. So I actually didn't really listen to the podcast because I wanted to see how much I could naturally remember. I remember you mentioning that last time round, or like in previous years, you've raised money by doing like cooking streams, and you also got a bunch of a few of the games as well that you still quite regularly play, right? Yeah.
So I suppose on the first point, I do. This isn't like me, self promo. I do stream very, very casually.
Do self promo. It's your podcast. And we're talking about Jingle Jam, but it's still your podcast.
I know. But please don't watch me. Like I stream like once every 2 months when I can be bothered. It's very casual. I just literally do it for the fun of it. So I used to do, again, this was the lockdown coping mechanism. I used to do baking streams like every Sunday. So it became quite a regular thing. Now it's mostly like, you know, me playing games, and then every now and then I'll do baking streams. So what I tend to do for Jingle Jam, I'll actually get organised and do a baking stream again. So last year I actually did not get a chance to do any streams. I still did do a fundraiser, but I didn't actually get a chance to stream. It was just a bit mental last year. But the year before that I did, I made, because I was doing it for Dogs for Autism, who were one of the charities that year. I made like little dog cupcakes that looked like dogs, and that was really fun, and it was very chaotic, but it was just like a really fun way to do that. And then this year, there's a theme here. I am raising money for the Grand Appeal, so I'm going to make grommet cupcakes.
No
very
way.
Similar. It's not going to be the same kind of dog, obviously, because it was a very different dog before. But there's going to be grommet, and I'm going to do some little like sheep ones as well, you know, like Shaun the Sheep from Aardman. So yeah, I just like to have fun with it. I don't tend to like, some people stream like every day, which is a massive commitment. And you don't have to do that. Obviously, it's amazing if you can, but I just tend to pick like one day that I can do it on and just go for it on that day, basically, and that's kind of my contribution. But I think it's like, I don't have to do it, but I feel like it's good for me to see it from both sides almost, and see like what it takes to set it up and actually do it, and any experiences I have then I can obviously pass on to others too.
Do you live far from like London? Because I went and I could come and try some of the cupcakes.
I live quite far away from London. Yeah, I'm kind of based
Heartbreaking.
in like Sheffield, so it's like
I could jump on the
3
train.
hours on the train. Yeah, you say the distance, but it's also like probably about £200 on the train as well. So
Whoa. I mean,
the rail prices.
If you let me come up and try some cupcakes, right? I know we've only ever interacted really when arranging podcasts, but now we're best of friends, so it's completely fine.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Am I really? I'll come up. If you tell me what day to come up, I'll book a train ticket right now and I'll come up and I'll try one of the cupcakes.
Oh, so you're not going to help? You're just going to eat them?
If you want me to help, I'll help.
Okay.
I don't know how comfortable you'd feel about me walking into your house and baking, though.
Are you a good baker? Have you ever baked?
What is the answer you want to hear?
The honest answer. You don't have to.
I feel like I could be alright if I followed the instructions. I reckon I'd be a good laugh.
Yes. Oh, that's always fun. But
comedic relief.
that's basically what the streams are anyway. Like, it always takes me about 5 times longer to do a very simple step, and then I always forget to do something because I'm distracted by chat. So yes, it's always fun, but it kind of proves, I guess, going back to the original point, that you don't have to sit and play games. You can literally anything. You don't even have to stream. You can still do a fundraiser, but I guess it goes hand in hand with streaming because of all the games collection and stuff. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. And then I feel like there was another question, but I can't remember what it was. What did you ask me as well?
Oh, I think that was it.
I can't remember.
I think I just asked you. I asked you about what games do you play? Because I remember last year you mentioned about the games you played.
Yeah. So there was a game. I can't remember what year it was. I think it must have been 2022. It might have been the year before. Sorry if that's wrong. But it was Plate Up was in the games collection, and I played that like last week. It's still such a good game. And that was like I actually don't know how much it is just to like buy it from the shop, but I think it's like a tenner. So I mean, to get the games collection, you have to donate £35. So you're already like, I mean, there was like 80 other games in that year as well. So I mean, yeah, it's amazing value for money, and that is like an amazing game. And there was loads like that. I think there was some more that I still play. I'm just trying to remember what they are. That's the one that like really stands out to me, I think.
There we go. So
yeah.
Why did the name get changed? You know, from bundles to collection.
It's because there's another charity thing. I think they did do it with this originally, which is maybe, again, I'm not that clued up on the history, but I think, have you ever heard of like Humble Bundle?
Yeah, that's what they originally used before.
Yeah, so that's why, because it's not with them anymore. I think Bundle just sounds quite similar to that, and I do understand that. It's like almost like the brand name, isn't it? Like Bundle, because it obviously rhymes with humble. So it's kind of like to separate it and make sure there's no people that think it is still that. So it's just a completely different word. That's literally it. And also, I think it's because collection sounds bigger than a bundle. I feel like bundle sometimes sounds like quite a small thing, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? If you kind of think of like bundling up, you're almost like 4
or 5 items.
You're almost like, I don't know. It kind of makes it sound a bit smaller. So I guess it's to kind of give it a bit more interpretation, open to interpretation. Yeah, that's it.
You sent me the stat stats, but I want to hear it from you specifically because I mean,
Yeah.
it just feels more fun hearing it from you.
That's
What
fine.
was the reach of Jingle Jam in 2023?
So in terms of like stream views, it was like, imagine this is, again, I didn't do these stats. This is just what I've been told. I imagine this is like, in total, there was like almost 8 million views in those 2 weeks, which is a lot of people. Obviously, that could be the same people on certain days, but it's a lot of people watching. Yeah. What was that?
It's more than 3 people, anyways.
It is more than 3. It's definitely more than 3. And I think there was so 2.3 million hits. So I guess that's just like on the events page, like how many people even went on it. Which again, that's like an insane number. 2.3 million. That's massive.
Exactly.
I actually don't have the number in front of me of how much we raised, but I'm sure I can find it.
I mean, I can tell you if you like.
Was it
$3.4 million.
Oh yes, in dollars, yeah, which is huge.
2.7 million pounds. So it just sounds better when you say in dollars because higher number.
It does. But it was there's a, I'm trying to find this specific page that breaks it down really nicely. I should have sent it to you actually.
I'm on the Jingle Jam tracker.
Oh, that's what you're on. Perfect. Yes, that's what I was going to say, is that it was, because I remember we were talking about 2022 and that was like £3.4 million, wasn't it? Which was, again, an incredibly high amount. Don't know what happened in 2022, but yeah, so still a really amazing number. And the other number I was going to say was we had like 64k donations, as in like 64,000 single donations, if that makes sense. That totaled up to be whatever that number was you just said, 2.7 million. So again, that's a very generous amount of people as well. So yeah.
I just can't get over how well it did in 2017. $5.2 million is crazy.
Was that the year that Rust was in it, I think?
I think so, yeah.
Because that's like, I feel like that was a anomaly, but like an amazing anomaly. But yeah, that, and it just shows like how much a game being in it can affect the total there. Obviously, I think they almost ran out as well, or maybe they did run out. We've never very often ran out of games. You can actually run out of them because there is a limited number. I think that year it was either dangerously close or it actually did. I can't remember. So yeah, very keen people.
I reckon we could see high highs this year. I don't know, 2024 feels like the year of high highs, and I mean, I know I'm being quite specific to like the Minecraft scene here, but I'm seeing a lot more people in the Minecraft scene raise for it this year than last year.
Really?
I mean,
well, that's
like,
the thing.
I'm speaking about like Wraithstation. I'm speaking about Wade and Bumpy Jake. I'm speaking about me. Like, I mean, I did it after Jingle Jam this year. Even the podcast, I know it doesn't do like crazy, but it's still a new edition, and I think a lot of people are going to raise a lot more for it this year. In the Jam Manifold 24-hour stream, Tubbo. I mean, I'm looking at the press release. I see Tommy in it, Talia Mar, Among Us, RTG Game Among top influencers. Sorry, I said Among Us. Apologies. I see Beckham in the background. Like,
there's. I think again, this is kind of a growth thing. Like, when they first kind of opened it up to other people, they were just kind of looking at like the viewers, and then it's kind of now become a thing where actually these huge creators can also help. And yeah, like you say, it's kind of hard to predict how that's going to go in terms of the numbers. So that's really amazing. And there's some that I know haven't been announced yet that are going to be huge. So yeah, very, very excited. And I think in terms of what's that?
Insane Orbit. Sorry to cut you off. I was just
oh yeah, about you plugging yourself. No, I was going to say today we actually hit 500 registered fundraisers as well. And last year we actually had 660 in total. So to have 500 before it's even started, a lot of people sign up during the event. So that's kind of given me a bit of hope that it will be more than 660. Obviously, we want to try and get like closer to 1,000 would be amazing. But yeah, these huge creators, I think, are going to kind of tell people about it this year, and then hopefully those people can come back next year and fundraise as well.
What does C300 mean? That's what you have here for 2022. C300.
I think that's circa like around 300. I think we didn't maybe get an exact number for some reason, but it was around that.
That's crazy how like you had 300
so it doubled
to alone, and now you're up to 500 with before like a week and
exactly
a week and a bit before the event even begins, or the fundraiser even begins. Sorry.
Yeah, and I know like I only signed up myself like yesterday, and I like have intended to fundraise this entire time. So I think there'll be so many people that will be doing it like once it's live or the day before. So yeah, we're hoping for 1,000. We'll see. But But I mean, if it's doubled every year, then,
Exactly.
let's hope the trend continues.
I'm not going to start my own fundraiser, but I'm probably just going to use Wraithstation's one. So that'll count as me. There you go. Definitely. Now you actually have 501. Oh my goodness.
Is that a commitment?
I mean, yeah, this podcast alone is essentially for that, right? So
yeah, definitely.
What are some of your favorite Jingle Jam memories?
Like
it can either be like from a viewer's perspective, it can be from a working perspective, it can be from a fundraising perspective. I know you've already mentioned about like the baking, but it doesn't have to be specifically working with Jingle Jam. It can just be a Jingle Jam memory as a whole.
Yeah, I think there's a few really. Can I say a few?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Kind of a variety. So yeah, I guess in terms of like my own experience as a streamer, I think definitely like my baking streams are always like super fun. And the one I spoke about where I had the cupcakes and some, that was such a funny stream, and I had like the Dogs for Autism charity in the chat like cheering me on, and I feel like that's such a like nice feeling when you're doing something like that. That was definitely a highlight. And there's also a really funny clip where my dog like tried to eat one of the cupcakes. She's like literally she's a millimeter away from it. I think she might have actually licked it. Like she's so close to it, but thankfully she didn't get it. So that's like now a clip on my my like channel video. So that's definitely a funny memory from that. And then from a viewer, there's always so many funny moments like watching people. I feel like it's such a weird time because for like a bit of, I suppose, disclosure, I tend to book off the first week of December, not to like do, obviously I'm doing the volunteering, but that's not why I book it off. I used to book it off before then, just to like enjoy Jingle Jam, because I just feel like it's such a cozy, like Christmassy vibe. And I think because I don't tend to book off that much time around actual Christmas, it actually is a bit like my Christmas break. So I just like have the best, like hot chocolates and just watching Jingle Jam and enjoying it. And I'm watching some of the AJX streams, and then I'm watching some of the other fundraiser streams and just enjoying it and interacting with everyone and just enjoying it basically. So I guess that's kind of like an overall memory. I just love the 2 weeks themselves are super cozy and fun. And then I guess from kind of a community leader perspective, I think especially I've noticed it more this year, just even on the lead up, like having this community of people who all support each other has been so nice. Like everyone's been really like helping each other out already. We've not even started yet, and like cheering each other on, and if there's like any resources people are asking for, someone will send it them or try and help. And I think during the actual 2 weeks, that's like even more obvious, because everyone's kind of cheering each other on and sharing each other's streams and stuff. And then you'll see people go into each other's chats and stuff, and it's just so nice to like have this community of people, and I feel like so proud to kind of be part of it. And everyone's always so lovely if I ever jump in as well, which is always really nice. And then we actually have a stream team this year. I don't think I've mentioned that actually. So we're going to have so it already exists. We've been inviting people, but we've actually got a Twitch stream team. So there's going to be a really nice way then to see everyone who's streaming for Jingle Jam, basically.
That's really cool.
And it means that if you finished your stream, you can go and raid someone else who's doing Jingle Jam. So it'll be such a nice way to like carry on the like relay almost. Should be so nice. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. How that works.
Do you know what Jingle Jam is missing? A theme tune. I think there needs a bit of Jingle Jam.
You know what? There kind of is like an unofficial theme tune.
Okay.
There's like a song. I'm going to try and find. So I'm aware that you won't be able to like play it, but there's.
You can sing it.
No, it's not got any words. There's
I was thinking of one in my head just now.
Oh, are you thinking of like one with like a little?
Well, I just thought of this in my head. I feel like I should have prepped it before the podcast. I only just thought of the idea. Jingle Jam, Jingle Jam, Jingle.
I guess that could work. It's slightly cheesy, but it's catchy, I guess. But no, there's a song that famously the Yogscast play when they hit their goal, and it's one of those like royalty free, like on Epidemic Sound ones. And every time I hear that song, like that is, I just think of the Yogscast and Jingle Jam. I think it's called like We Like to Party. It's like just like a really random.
We like to party.
It's not that song. Oh no, sorry. It's called Who Likes to Party, and it's by Kevin McLeod, and it is a banger.
Use his music all the time.
Did you? I'm going to send it in the chat.
In the day.
It's such a banger though. So that's kind of like the unofficial Jingle Jam. Like I have that on my stream. If I'm doing Jingle Jam as like my celebration button.
Oh my god, I know this one.
See?
There you go. That's for the
Sounds
listeners.
exactly like that. That was a perfect rendition. But yeah,
Was
so yeah, sure. It is if you know the song. But yeah, I've said the name, so if people want to research it, they can. But yeah, we don't have an official theme song, but there is like some traditions that have kind of come around already, which is quite sweet.
What if it went like Jingle Jam? Like,
It sounds like a kids' TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then like there's like a little transition, and it goes to like Barry talking and going like, "Welcome back to Jingle Jam 2025, woo!" And then, yeah, that's like, there you go.
Yeah, I'll pitch that to the guys and see what they say.
I mean, give me the credit for it.
Send me a voice recording of that, and I'll send it.
I will make a theme tune, and you can you can use my voice specifically.
Thank you.
Jingle Jam.
You've got quite a good like kids TV voice.
Do I
Very
actually?
joyful.
Or is that joking?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm deadly serious. You could do it.
I've never tried doing it before. Do you have a sentence I should say?
I think what you were saying was fine. Honestly, I feel like you've nailed it with that voice line. I'll send that in.
Jingle Jam. There you go. That's the last time you get.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh god, I was gonna say something, but I've been too busy screaming Jingle Jam. Apologies.
That's okay.
Oh god, my brain is just gone. Okay, I guess just like as a base question here. Over the years, obviously, I'm looking at the stats right now of the donation tracker. What donations aside, right? And this might be a bit of a weird question, so feel free to, if you can't answer it, no pressure. What's been your most memorable year? Like while following Jingle Jam. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to answer it, but I might as well ask anyways.
This like I suppose separate from me like doing the community leader stuff, because that's only been for like 3 years. So just like since I've been watching.
Yeah, like even fun facts aside, just like, it can be community leader year, because like I think my most memorable year, because it's also kind of the only year I really know about it. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, in 2023, they raised $1 million in the first 24 hours, right?
Yeah, that was. I remember us messaging about that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think honestly, I have like really bad luck with. So I work every 1 in 4 weekends, and my weekend in always falls on the first week of Jingle Jam. And I swear to God, I finish work at 5:30. No work gets done in that last half an hour, because it is like as soon as 5 p.m. hits on the 1st of December, absolute chaos. Yeah, like everyone is so excited. Like the second it unlocks, there's people who will donate and get the games collection immediately, and you know all the like chaos. Yeah, it goes crazy. So I'm not surprised, but it's always like, yeah, I think especially last year we were like gobsmacked that it happened so quickly. At like in what did you say 1 hour?
I said I thought it was in
the first day.
Hours, no?
Sorry, yeah. I was going to say in the first day. Yeah, it was absolutely wild. I think especially because it's like 5 p.m. So it's not even like 20, like, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's 24 hours from then, yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Half of that time you're asleep. Well, I suppose the Australians might not be. But yeah, it's a wild number. Yeah, true. A wild number. And yeah, it's a good thing to like see what happens this year with that. But yeah, the first 24 hours of Jingle Jam is like the most chaotic time of my life every year. But in such a fun way. Like everyone's just so excited.
If you don't mind me asking, and also I don't want to get too personal here, what do you do for work? I never asked.
So I work from home, so I'm like a remote interior designer, kind of the most I can say, I guess.
Yeah, don't want to dox yourself too much.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very kind of creative in my day-to-day job, and I am kind of customer focused, so I suppose maybe some skills have come from there, but yeah, it also means I'm able to have YouTube or Twitch open on my like iPad all day, which is probably why I'm so chronically online. Yeah, it works very well for kind of my lifestyle and what I do. So yeah.
Just calling sick.
Yeah, well, I could do, but I don't really need to.
The only way you could get away with it is just saying you're bedridden because you're already at home anyways.
Exactly. They're like, get up. Yeah, I think I have to be quite poorly. I think I've had one sick day. I've been doing this job for like 4 years, and I think I had one half sick day, and it's because I had a migraine. Like, I think when you work from home, you're just like, well, I can type, I can work.
Yeah, exactly. That's not you're missing out there.
And it's not even that my work's harsh with sick days. I can take sick days. I just never get that poorly. So yeah, I guess because I'm not around people all the time.
I've taken a few
As
on
well,
my
that
job,
helped.
but that's more. Some of those days are genuinely I just couldn't be bothered to go into work. Like,
That
it's
is fair.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
No, I think I'm one of those people though. I think with my job especially, like I guess it might be different depending where you work, but I always feel really guilty if I like make other people have to do work for me. So I would have to like do it placed on a day where I know it's not affecting anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd have to like time it on that day. But yeah, I did have I actually went to, oh, we've not even spoke about this. I went to TwitchCon this year and you were there.
We didn't even meet up. That's so annoying. I didn't even know you were there.
I know. That's just me being annoying and not reaching out to you and telling you I was going because I was nervous. That's like,
why?
That's just me in a nutshell. Well, I don't know. I feel like there were so many people. I was so overwhelmed with how many people were there. I was just like, if I reach out to you and you want to meet, I might explode. Like it was kind of insane to meet all of those people. Not really like I have met some of the Yogs Class before, so it's not even them. It was like people that there's like people I've seen their Twitch name like for years, and I'm talking like a long time, and then I'd like see their name badge and I'd be like, oh my god, it's you, and I'd be like so excited to see them. And it's just like not someone who streams, just a chatter. Like it was so nice to meet people. I was gonna say I actually got COVID for the first time going there, and went to work still because I didn't realize I had it until like the 4th day, and then I was like, all right, so I was like, oh, never mind. So that was kind of my one chance that would have been totally valid to book off, and I didn't do it, but never mind. There's always next year, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just go again. Are you going to TwitchCon this year?
To be honest, I don't think I would, just because it's in the same place. I think.
No,
I know. I'm sorry.
So I am gonna have to come up then at the start of December to pay.
I think.
Good. Great.
Just because it's in Rotterdam again, and I think I did go obviously to go to TwitchCon, but also to go on holiday, and I don't really want to go on holiday to the exact same place. I suppose I could maybe go to like Amsterdam and then go there for the day, but I don't know. I just think like the actual con itself, I maybe didn't think there was that much to it. It was like the novelty was nice, but I don't know.
TwitchCon is always dead. Like it's the thing is like it's like I go to Comic-Con and stuff like that where it's like a bunch of booths. So when I went to the one in Paris, I was expecting it to be this big thing, and there's like 5 booths, and it was just like promotions or like things, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was kind of my impression. And there was like a lot of things with like bigger streamers, but like if you can't tell, I kind of like don't really watch that many people, to be honest. I'm kind of set with who I like to watch, and that's kind of I've kind of stuck with that now. I tend to watch more like my friends and stuff nowadays, so I don't really watch huge streamers, so I don't know who a lot of the people are. So there'd be like interviews and stuff and panels, and I'd be like, I don't know who any of those people are. So yeah, I don't think I'd go again next year. I think if it goes to another place, because I know it's there for quite a while now, I'd maybe be tempted, but unless there was like a really good reason for me to go, I don't think I would. Not that I didn't enjoy it, I just think it was obviously a lot of money and stuff. Yeah, like you're going next year?
Yeah, we have the travel books and hotel books and everything.
Oh wow, super organised.
Nah, it's just cheap if you do it early enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the hotel's more reserved. I always reserve the hotel. I don't actually pay for it, and then I pay for it when I get there. The travel and stuff is sorted.
No, that's very smart, because I did it very last minute, you see, so it cost me quite a lot of money, which is probably why I'm saying it's expensive. But actually, if I did it a year in advance, it wouldn't be. So who knows? Maybe I will do it last minute next year.
Well, I went with my partner, and we just like Rotterdam. Like we really loved Rotterdam. So, and the only reason I went last year is because like I knew a lot of people going, like friends, and I'm as far as I'm aware, a few friends are going this year. But also like knew like MCC was on, and I was able to get like good seats for MCC, and then I went to the after party. So like I knew I was going to be doing stuff, and I was playing in a football match. I don't know how many people are going to go this year. I assume people just go because it's TwitchCon. It's the one chance you have to meet your online friends, like, and it's all in one place. Yeah,
which I loved. Yeah, I loved that part of it. Definitely.
But the thing is, like, I've been watching the Yogcast, but I don't really keep up with them crazy amounts. So I wouldn't even know what any of them look like, really. I probably passed them at TwitchCon. There's a likelihood we pass each other. I know what you look like, of course, but there's a likelihood we pass each other, and I just didn't realise because I wasn't paying attention.
Probably. I do find that so funny. Like, well, even like a ginormous Twitch streamer, you could have walked past and been like, I don't know who that is. Like, and they, I'm sure there was lots of people who did, but I remember when we were queuing up. We were queuing up to get merch, which was like the longest 2 hours of my life. It took so long. There was like someone streaming like 2 people down, like in the queue, and we were like looking at what their name was and like going on their Twitch chat, and there was like thousands of people watching them, and I was like, oh my god, so weird that they're just right there. But yeah, that's what I kind of enjoyed, that side of TwitchCon. It's kind of weird seeing it all in person. But yeah, sorry we didn't meet.
No, it's okay. Sorry. What's it called? When you were talking about that merch queue, I didn't actually go into that, but so I went out on the Saturday night with a content creator friend, Janeris, who's been on the podcast, and one of their friends, Marky Sparky, who I met, and we went out drinking, and I had a little bit too much to drink. The next morning before Twitch Rivals, I was just not feeling good because the issue is like, if I drink loads but I only drink one drink, I'm fine. I have an awful habit when I'm going out with people that I copy what they're drinking. So for instance, they were drinking beer, so I was drinking the beer, and then my partner decided to randomly just get like a vodka and coke, but then decided when it came they didn't want it anymore. And in Rotterdam they fill up like a single shot vodka as half the glass. So another content creator, Mighty Brothers, he came over and we were sitting there and he's like, down that, you won't. So like an idiot I said, I'll down it. So I downed like half a glass of vodka after being like 10 rounds deep already on a different drink, and I also did like a shot or so in the end, like it was a fun experience. Like I've never been drunk in a different country before, so it was really cool. Like I know it sounds like such a weird thing to say, but it's just a new experience.
It is weird. It's definitely weird, but it's easy to do.
Like, oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I was saying it's easy to do, especially in like Europe, where like you say with the measurements and stuff. It's very crazy. It very suddenly you realise that it's not the same as it is in the UK. The measurements. But
then sorry, I just a big old rant here. Basically, I'll get to the point. And then at 12 o'clock we ended up. I was like, we need to go, like, because I was just on one. I was like, screw it, I buck up, I'm going in. So we went in, and then my mates were in the queue for the line, and as they were coming out, I was waiting, and then there's a streamer who I wanted to meet called Quarryway, and he was like right there as I walked up, and I went, oh my god. So I called out to him, I said hi, and because he's been on the podcast also, and it was just like funny timing. I decided not to join the queue, and then I ended up meeting someone I wanted to meet, so it was all like,
that's crazy.
It worked out almost perfectly.
That's nice. That's funny actually. When I bumped into, like, I think it was Lewis and Boba and OC from the Oscast, I was like, I went down on the Friday to get my ticket, and I had like up at 3 o'clock that morning to get the flight, and I had like no makeup on and was like looking rough. And then Boba saw me and called over, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is how I'm meeting like Lewis and Boba and AC. This is the worst the worst introduction. So I sort of sheepishly said hello and was like and then I never saw them again. I didn't even see them inside the actual inside the actual what do you call it? Big room.
Big room?
The venue.
The venue.
I don't think it was at the venue. So yeah, it's funny how you can just. It was weird to just see people in like on like lanyards and stuff just out and about in Rotterdam as well.
Exactly.
It's funny.
I know. I just loved Rotterdam.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Like I said, you never know. I could end up just randomly going next year. So don't hold me to it.
Well, like I said, if you don't, then I'll have to just come up next year and we can we'll figure out. Are you coming back on the podcast next year, next December? Should we get in? Yeah. Oh, of course. I love this. It's a yearly tradition.
Yes, and who knows where it'll be out next year. I'm super excited. To see what happens this year. There's so many things that I know are happening, and also, as I said, there's so many more people getting involved this year. I feel like it's going to be so good. I'm so excited. But yeah.
What are the charities that are being raised for Jingle Jam this year?
Yeah, so this year there's 8 charities. So we've got Autistica, who are returning from last year actually. So they're a charity focused on like young autistic people and making like society, I guess, more inclusive. So super important charity. We've got Calm returning again. They're a suicide prevention helpline, and they have loads of like mental health resources as well. They've actually brought out like a toolkit for streamers as well, which I definitely recommend looking into if you're a streamer. And it kind of gives you tips on like how to deal with like, you know, people in your community need help and stuff like that, which is super good. And then also about looking after your own mental health. So they're returning again. And then we've got Cool Earth, who are a climate change charity. And they mainly focus on kind of giving the rainforest back to the indigenous people. Rainforests are actually like amazingly good for the world, if you didn't know. So they're an amazing charity as well. We've got Sarcoma, Sarcoma UK they're called, which is a bone and soft tissue cancer charity. And as you can imagine, it's sort of treatments and support for patients and stuff like that. So again, very, very important charity. Then we have the Trevor Project. I think they're actually US based, possibly, like headquarter wise. Obviously, it's all worldwide, but they are an LGBTQ plus young people charity. So they help the poor through suicide prevention and crisis intervention as well. So yeah, amazing charity there. We've got the Grand Appeal, I mentioned I'm fundraising for. So they're again a returning charity. They're currently still fundraising for creating a Jingle Jam building, which is going to be a unique facility that will help sick children and their families at Bristol Children's Hospital. And then we have War Child returning as well. So yeah, their kind of main goal is protecting, educating and advocating for the rights of children impacted by conflicts going on. So places like Gaza and stuff like that worldwide. And then finally, we have WDC, so Whale and Dolphin Conservation. They're another returning charity, and they help with the with protecting endangered whales and dolphins, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, they do a lot of work in like Iceland and the whaling industry and stuff like that. So yeah, 8 amazing charities. There's you know, something for everyone there. I feel like there must be something there that we can kind of relate to or have kind of had some experience with, which I think is really important. And obviously they're all kind of apart from the whale one, they're all kind of focused on young people as well. It's really important.
I mean, the whale one could be young whales.
yeah, true.
So
well, actually, sorry, saying that, they do education in schools, so I think that's kind of their link to that. It's educating young people of today about, you know, the whale and dolphin whaling industry and why it's so bad and all of that jazz. So yeah, they do stuff, but yeah, it's maybe not as obvious.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of great charities there, as you can imagine.
I feel like we've done a pretty good job at covering Jingle Jam. Is there anything else that I should have asked that I haven't asked, or have we done a good job of covering it all?
I guess I could just maybe explain, like, if people want to get involved or find out more, what they can do. I think that's the only thing.
Because the thing is, like, so I have someone who helps me do research called Roman Rodri. They're great. Mm-hmm. The issue is their research is like so in depth to the point where, like, I in the end I'd just be telling you facts that I know and you wouldn't really be able to kind of build on it. So I think we've done a pretty good job. But
okay.
Before we get into the Twitter questions, then we're going to lead into there. If people do want to get involved and want to fundraise or even just want to know what Jingle Jam is, what's yours?
So if you want to find out more about Jingle Jam, I'd recommend first going to jinglejam.co.uk. That has kind of all of the information on this year's charities. It's got a little video to kind of show you a really good kind of overview of what Jingle Jam is. You can find out more about the charities. You can find out more about how much money they've raised, any kind of social links. And then it also links to the Discord that I mentioned earlier, where, you know, where to help if anyone has any questions. It also links to the Tiltify page. So the Tiltify page is where you register. So you can pre-register before December 1st, but obviously probably this is going to be out by then. So you'll just be registering and basically you sign up. You can be, it doesn't have to be, as I said, you don't have to stream. It doesn't have to be Twitch either. You can do YouTube, TikTok, anything that you possibly can want. You can choose to link it to that. You set up a fundraiser, you get a link and a QR code, and you can basically add as a reward the games collection. So that will be kind of live from 5 p.m. on the 1st of December. So it should be there if you're signing up after then. And what that is anyone who donates over £35, well, £35 or over, will get that. So that's like loads of Steam keys. And as I said, they're all amazing games. And a lot of them, there's like always a big variety of the games as well. So they'll get that. And that's kind of a really good way, obviously, to help people fundraise, get a reward for it. And then if you want to find out any more, I would just say to go to jinglejam.tiltify.com, and all of the kind of signing up stuff's there as well. And then follow on Twitter or X, Instagram, and things like that. I guess that would kind of be the best way to stay in touch. And then if you just want to watch from the 1st to the 14th of December, just search for Jingle Jam on Twitch, and I'm sure there'll be something.
There's got to be something around.
There'll be something. We'll all be tagging, so hopefully the Jingle Jam tab will have lots and lots of people on. But there's going to be so many streams, so yeah, definitely worth checking it out. And as you mentioned, there's so many huge streamers as well getting involved, so there'll be something for everyone, hopefully.
Everywhere, YouTube, Twitch, X, just search up Jingle Jam on Google.
Everywhere.
And at that point, you'll just find like even YouTube streams and stuff, videos maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. There's always like highlight videos and stuff, so there'll be loads. But yeah, basically, I would also say like if you are new to streaming and you want to get involved, don't be like put off by feeling like you're not gonna like make a difference, because honestly, well, obviously every pound makes a difference, but also if you're streaming and 5 people are watching you, that's 5 people that didn't know about Jingle Jam until then. So literally every single person makes a difference. So yeah, please do get involved.
How I see it as well is, even if you stream and you have 2 viewers, even if those 2 viewers don't donate, there's a possibility that one of those 2 viewers go and tell their mum, or go and tell their school friend, or go and tell someone. Even though you may not see a direct donation through you, that it's like a
awareness,
is it butterfly effect? Is it awareness is better,
yeah, definitely.
Like people will tell people, and then those people will tell people, and those people will tell people.
Yeah,
it's how I found out about Jingle Jam. Like, so be it, I didn't directly donate last year because it was Christmas time and I'd bought like decent new presents, but like I still did a podcast, I still bought traction to it. So even though I didn't see a direct donation come from the podcast, there's a possibility that someone did donate, but because I didn't have my own page, it's just any awareness.
And that's a good point. Like, I think people feel like they have to donate, and obviously one of the great things about fundraising is if you can't donate and you really want to get involved, fundraising is free, so for you obviously. So if you just want to shout about it or retweet something or anything, like, yeah, that's how you can help. So there's so many things you can do without having to actually physically hand your money over if you can't or don't want to. So yeah, so many ways.
Charity is charity.
It is, and we love charity.
Exactly. So, Twitter questions then.
Okay.
The first one comes from Shiny Dude. What's your favourite jam? Jelly, music, or party?
Oh, is that like one of those 3, not like...
Yeah, so the exact question goes, what's your favourite jam? Jam jelly, jam music, or jam party? I think Shiny Dude missed the point of the podcast.
Yeah, I kind of interpreted that as like, what's my favourite type of jam? As in like jelly. What's my favourite type of...
I mean, if you want to do individual ones, sure, but I think what they're going for is the...
Okay, I would probably have to go with the middle one. Was that like music?
There was jam jelly, jam music, or jam party.
Yeah, jam music, I think. I do like a party, but I feel like, what's a party without music, you know?
We like to party.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I do like jam, but I'm not like that bothered. So... You know, I like a strawberry jam on toast every now and then, but yeah, I would have to say music probably. That's a good question.
The next one is just AJX saying hi.
Hi.
I can't believe you didn't show up today. Outrageous, AJ. I can't believe you.
Hates charity.
Hates Jingle Jam, hates charity, and hates Ruth. 3 hates. Personally. That answers your question, Shiny, but in a hate way, and from AJX. The final question then comes from Zombro. I feel like I believe we've already answered it, but just for the sake of a timestamp, just give it. You can give just a 1-word answer. When did the concept for Jingle Jam get created? Yeah,
so I suppose a TLDR, as I mentioned earlier. So it just came from people being super generous to Lewis and Simon from the Yogscast, and them thinking, let's use this to make a difference to charity. And yeah, it was in 2011, so a long time ago. So it's evolved a lot from then. But yeah, they've been doing it every year, and it used to actually be a month, which is kind of insane, like to fundraise for the entire month of December, as obviously there's Christmas and everything happening then.
Exactly.
So it's now 2 weeks, which I think is a very good idea, because it means it can be a lot more focused and everyone's not like burnt out. So yeah, it's evolved over the years, but it's now become what it is now from that. Yeah, from 2011.
There we go. So I don't write down the questions. So honestly, like when I was reading it, I realized as I was about to ask it, but I was like, yeah, I'll just say it through.
No, I mean it's a good question. That's why I made sure to answer it accidentally earlier, because it's important to know how it kind of started. Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, then that sadly brings the end of this week's InsideMC.
Sad it's over.
Yeah, but it's okay. You can come back next year.
Yeah, true.
before I do the outro here, I know you've already kind of promoted the thing, but just for the sake of promoting links' sake, where can people find you? Where can people find Jingle Jam? Anyone who wants to find out more about it. Like, again, I know you've already done it, but just for the sake of the outro here, it's just have it.
Yeah, that's fine. So if you are very bothered about finding out what I'm up to, I do stream sometimes on Twitch, and my username is Ruthberry. It's just Ruthberry. And then it's because Twitter is Ruthberry_, because sadly someone had that name. So yeah, if you do want to see my chaotic baking streams during Jingle Jam, I will be tweeting about them in advance. So you're welcome to, I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere in this podcast tweet as well. So I'll be there. Other than that, Jingle Jam wise, again, it's Jingle Jam on everything. So Twitter, Instagram and everything. And definitely go to the Tiltify page, which was jinglejam.tiltify.com. And please, if you are interested in fundraising, the Discord is there to be your like one stop for absolutely everything. So come join us there and say hi, and yeah, that's it really.
There we go. Well, with that being said, thank you so much again for coming on. You've been an absolutely amazing guest.
Thank you. It's been very fun.
I really, really appreciate it. And thank you
Can't
for
wait
listening.
to see what happens this year. Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you.
And make sure to get your Jingle Jam on. Keep Jingle Jamming all over the place.
Yes, and get the collection.
Buy it now. It's out now. Like, by the time you listen to this podcast, if you're listening to this podcast on release, it started an hour ago. So it's like live. Now, if you haven't bought it, go buy it right now. Yeah, buy the collection. Definitely. Purchase it as we're doing this outro. Literally load it up now. Start purchasing it.
Before you know it, you'll be able to be playing lots and lots of Steam games.
Yeah, like Minecraft.
I don't think Minecraft's definitely not.
Yeah, okay.
You can play that if you want.
Whatever your heart desires, sure. Right, well, thank you again. So much.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. And thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Only too much bread. Pieces.
Bye.